Taddeo, and this is my teaching presentation. Today, what I'm going to be demonstrating is I'm going to be teaching you all how to make a recipe that's been passed down from generation to generation in my family. Technically my husband's family, but since we're married, it's my family too. I want to start by just telling you all about the recipe a little bit. So what we're making today is Sicilian style pizza. And so the recipe originated in Franklin, Massachusetts at the DeBagis and Dorico Bakery. And this was opened in 1910 by Agostino DeBagis and Rocco Dorico. Rocco Dorico is my husband's father's grandfather. So they made baked goods and bread, lots of bread, Italian bread, and pizza, and the pizza is something that we share with our family for birthdays, holidays, Sunday dinners, get together. We call it Papa's Pizza. What do you want? My son's favorite meal. What do you want for dinner at Grammy's house this weekend? Papa's Pizza. It's always a favorite. So I'm so glad to be able to share this with you today. And we'll start just a little bit of photographic detail about the bakery just to share with you. So these are some old pictures of the bakery. If you can see like the old cars, and where my husband grew up was actually right across the street from where this bakery still stands today. It's not a bakery anymore, but the building is still there. And then on this next photo here, you can see they used to deliver the bread by horse and buggy. This is my husband's great-grandfather, Rocco Dorico, and he's delivering the bread. You can see there's bread in those baskets there by horse and buggy back in the early 1900s. So they came over from Italy and they brought their recipes and their traditions from Italy. So let's start by going over first the course objectives, and then we'll go over the ingredients and get right started on making this pizza. So, course objectives. I wanted to teach you a little bit about the history of the pizza in my family. I wanted to teach you about the ingredients and supplies that we need, and then I want to teach you about the preparation of the pizza. And then most of all, most importantly, I want us to have fun doing it, and I hope that it's something that you'll be able to share with your family in the future. It really is super easy to make, and let me tell you, it's awesome. It's really good pizza. So, I've got my poster here of the ingredients. We'll go over each very briefly and quickly here. The Crisco, we use this all-important ingredient. This is to grease the cookie sheet before we apply the dough. We need flour. The flour is to powder the dough surface so none of our pizza dough sticks to the counter or baking mat when we spread out the dough. We need pizza dough. I buy the pre-made dough, and you gotta let it sit out at room temperature. Kind of, I put it in the microwave with a towel over it, so just kind of let it rise a little bit, so it gets, you can see it gets like some aeration in the dough. You can't just take it straight out; it won't roll out. You can use frozen dough and let it thaw out, or even my grocery store sells like the pre-made rolled out dough, which is so much easier. We need olive oil. We need Italian seasoning, garlic salt. I forgot the garlic salt. I had garlic powder, but that'll work just as well, just for a little bit of flavoring on the crust. The most important ingredient, Munster cheese. This is like the secret ingredient. So the Munster cheese sliced from the deli. I use about 16 slices per pizza. The next part is tomato sauce, just plain old tomato sauce, nothing fancy, nothing added. My husband prefers Hunt's, but you can use any kind of tomato sauce that you would like. The next thing is you need shredded mozzarella cheese, and I just buy the bag of it. It's like one bag per pizza, pretty much. And Parmesan cheese. So we got a 3-cheese pizza going on here, and just the grated Parmesan cheese. This is Parmesan Romano. It doesn't matter, whatever kind of Parmesan cheese. And I didn't write the quantity on this. I really don't use a lot because I find it makes the pizza super salty, and the Parmesan cheese tends to kind of burn and brown the first when you cook the pizza. So just very sparingly, just kind of like as a decoration. And then toppings. Our favorite toppings that we do in our family is pepperoni. My husband, my son, this is their favorite. They do pepperoni or salami. They love their meat pizza. My favorite is mushroom. So just, I don't know. And then we also love black olive, so I kind of just have a demonstration. So I've got all my ingredients assembled here, and then the supplies that I need. I need a cookie sheet. These are the sheets, the cookie sheets that I always use. Just whatever the dimensions of this pan, the dough comes out perfect when I use this pan. I also need a rolling pin to roll out my dough. I need a basting brush, and the basting brush I use to brush the dough with olive oil first. And then I need an oven, which we have here. And then you need some hungry people to eat the pizza. So we're gonna go ahead and flour our dough surface, and we're gonna get started on rolling out the dough. So I'm just gonna grab some flour. I've already washed my hands and everything, cleaned everything really good because I'm using the dough on the counter. And there's not like a measurement for this, you just kind of sprinkle it on. And this is really just to make sure the dough doesn't stick. And I always take some and I put it on my rolling pin too, so that way it doesn't stick. All right, so I'm getting everything prepped to roll out the dough. I'm also gonna get the oven started. I'm gonna preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Move some of this off the oven before I start. So 375 degrees and start. And I'm gonna get my cookie sheet ready because once my dough is rolled out, I wanna make sure that my cookie sheet is ready to go. So I got it here. I don't know how everybody else does Crisco, but this is the tried and true method of applying Crisco to the pan. Hand in a baggie, and you just grab a good old scoop of this all vegetable shortening. I suppose you could use anything that you wanted to grease the pan, but I mean, Crisco is the original baking product. So you want to make sure you use a good amount because you don't want the pizza dough to stick to your pan. I'm just going to go ahead and grease this second one. I don't know if I'm going to make one or two, but I'll just go ahead and grease the second one. One here. Alright, so I've got my oven preheating. I've got my dough preparation area set. We've got our pans prepped and ready. I've got my dough. I'm going to go ahead and throw this out. And we can go ahead and get ready to roll the dough out. All right, so now that my dough is rolled out, I'm gonna go ahead and place the dough into the pan that I've already greased with Crisco. I tried to roll it like into the most like rectangular shape that I could because this is a rectangular shaped Sicilian style pizza, but it does not have to be a perfect rectangle. You just kind of press it into the sides of the cookie sheet, and there's no wrong way to do it. Just push it in, and then the sides of the crust. And you know, I find that, like I said before, like these cookie sheets are just my best ones for making pizza because the dough, the thickness of it comes out perfect. If I use a smaller cookie sheet than this, the dough comes out too thick, and if I use a bigger cookie sheet, the dough kind of comes out too thin. So just from trial and error, I found that these cookie sheets are my best. Next important part of the dough process is to cut some slits. I just have a sharp pointy knife that I'm just gonna cut some slits. And what this does, it just allows the crust to vent while it's cooking so you don't get any big bubbles or anything like that. The next part is the cheese. Now everyone's like, cheese first? What? So it is The most important part of the pizza is Munster cheese. I got it freshly sliced from the deli, and you put the cheese first. So I'm going to place cheese all across the pizza dough, and then you'll see how it's going to coat the entire surface. This is really, it's really cheesy. It's really good. It's worth every calorie. Obviously, like holiday calories, you know, they only count half. So we're good. I think this must be a southern thing, how they put the cheese paper between every slice. We're originally from up north, and they never did this. They just would give you your stack of cheese. I mean, I appreciate the fact that it's nice to just get each piece of cheese, but when you're using a lot of it, it's kind of like frustrating to go through every spot. So, my oven is preheating, and like I said, it's at 375. And I've got my Munster cheese beautifully laid out on the pizza here. I forgot to season the dough. I'm going to season the crust and brush it with a little bit of olive oil. So just around the outsides of the crust. This is going to kind of give it that golden brown look. Normally, I would usually do this before I put the cheese on, but I kind of jumped ahead of myself a little bit. But it doesn't matter. It's just flavoring the crust before or after the cheese, as long as you get that flavor of the olive oil on there. I put a little olive oil in this cup here, and I just kind of brush it on. I put 2 tablespoons. I definitely did not use 2 tablespoons of olive oil when I did that. When I wrote this recipe, this recipe is not written down anywhere, or if it is, I have no idea where it's written down. It's just kind of like me observing my father-in-law and my mother-in-law make this pizza, and then kind of showing me the recipe throughout the years. And I'm just doing some Italian. That was garlic powder. You can use garlic salt or garlic powder. I think I wrote garlic salt on the recipe, but whatever you have, it doesn't matter. Probably less salt is better. So I just seasoned the crust. I'm gonna put the sauce on the pizza next. So cheese first and then sauce. And like I said before, this is just plain old sauce. Nothing special. If you liked chunky tomato sauce or a different kind of sauce, I mean, you could use any kind of sauce that you wanted. This is the original recipe, and like I said, my husband's preference of the Hunts or Contadina, he likes that one too. I don't know that he can actually tell the difference, but if he saw me making it with something else, he'd be like, "What are you doing?" You gotta stick to the tradition. All right, so crust, cheese, then sauce. Very important. The next part is the topping. So this is gonna be a pepperoni pizza. Today, today's my son's 16th birthday. So this is his favorite kind of pizza. So this is gonna be kind of like his birthday dinner. So we're just gonna put the pepperoni in no rhyme or reason all over the crust. You could put any topping you want. It doesn't matter. And if you don't want to do toppings, you just want to do cheese, just skip this part. The next part's going to be mozzarella cheese, the shredded mozzarella that goes on top. But because it's my son's birthday, I know he's going to enjoy this pepperoni pizza when he gets home from school. So there's the pepperoni, and the next part is the mozzarella cheese. I'm using shredded mozzarella cheese. And then I know I use a lot more than my father-in-law does when he makes the pizza, but I know that we kind of like it cheesy. He probably uses about half this much of cheese, but I don't know. More cheese, more better, if you ask me. So like literally, like one pizza takes a whole bag of cheese. We'll stick the rest of that on there for good measure. And then Parmesan, just grated Parmesan, goes over the top. And like I said, I don't use too much of that. It's real salty. I'm gonna decorate the pizza with a little bit of Italian seasoning garnish. And that is it. So we're gonna go ahead and get this pizza in the oven, and I'll show you the end result in a minute here. But before we move on to the end, I just wanna make sure that y'all have been paying attention. I've got a little game on my evaluation, 2 truths and a lie. So I'm gonna tell you 2 truths and a lie about my pizza, and I need your answer on my evaluation form. So here's 3 facts. 1, the pizza was originated in Boston, Massachusetts. The most important ingredient is the Munster cheese, and we preheat the oven to 375 degrees. So I've told you 2 truths and a lie, and then go ahead and include that on my evaluation. I'm gonna go ahead and put the pizza in the oven. Oven's ready, and it goes. All right. So my pizza has baked in the oven at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. There's really, every oven is a little bit different, so I didn't put a time because you just really have to check the pizza, and it's done when it looks done. So the crust is a golden brown, the cheese is all melted, and the underside of the pizza, I don't know if can you see it, Jeff? The underside of the pizza has like a little golden brown to it. So I'm constantly checking it. Like I probably bake it for 12 minutes, and then I start checking it like every couple minutes just to make sure it gets that perfect amount of doneness. After it comes out of the oven, you want to let it cool for at least 5 minutes, and then you slice it. So we're going to slice it into square slices. Just like that. And down the center. So you can see, I'll finish the rest of that after. Excuse me. Pizza's beautiful. It's gonna be delicious. My son's gonna be so excited for his birthday. And I'm so glad that I was able to share this recipe with you. I hope that you've learned a little bit about my family history, about how to make the pizza, how to prepare the pizza, how to cook the pizza. And super easy, super delicious, and I hope it's something that you're able to share with your family in the future. Thank you so much. Don't forget to fill out my evaluation form and email it back to me. Thank you.